Southeast Kentucky Relic Hunters. It's thunder and lightning out, so we thought we would go ahead and do a 3.5 years worth of some of our better finds. Before we get into that, I'm trying to make it as fast as possible because there's a lot to go over. We'd like to put some shout outs out there for some of the people that we watch, we admire, and we love your videos. Lloyd, Digging with 7, that's a great channel. History Hound, if you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. Great stuff. Of course, the big three, Chig, Aqua Chigger, Delft Diggers, and the Hoover Boys. There's a lot of others I'm sure I'm missing, but if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have had the motivation to show the world what we find and consider treasure. So, having said that, let's get started. We're going to start on the other side. This is Rob's finds, and I'm going to let Rob go ahead and explain what he has. So,
how's it going, guys?
All right.
I've just been, again, detecting for about a year, since about January 2017. Been hitting a couple old sites that I've hit years and years ago. New Machine Techniques T2, I love it. Where to start? Colonial relics. Colonial flat buttons, 1788 half real, British copper of some sort, little odds and ends, great old padlock, candle holder handle.
Let's get a close up of that half real real quick.
It's pretty well worn, but you can see the date on it if you look close.
They probably will too. Yeah, that came out pretty good.
Railroad camp relics from when the L&N Railroad was built in the late 1800s, coming through Rockcastle and Laurel County. Some Civil War relics. Of course, those guys were still using stuff from the Civil War then. Harmonica reeds. There was a camp there for quite a while. Powder keg seals, suspender buckles, 1840 large cent, 1863 Indian. A good little fatty right there. All kinds of cartridge cases and bullets and that sort of thing. These cartridge cases came from there. These also came from there. Just a lot of shooting going on. You thought it was an old West town, but it was in Laurel County, Kentucky.
awesome.
Probably my favorite and best find I've ever found is this little jewel right here.
Look at that, guys.
Oh,
1732.
It makes me
Let it
jealous.
focus.
It's not wanting to focus. 1732 Tupelo,
Oh,
Mexico
man.
City, mint mark.
Why won't it focus? Here, set it on the table or something.
We'll set it down here
It'll focus.
on the table.
Oh, that's a sweetheart.
Why won't the camera focus?
There you go.
There we go.
That's
It's
the
backwards.
that's the side with the crown.
Look at that.
date.
Yeah, there it is,
Wow.
guys.
That was found along the Wilderness Road.
1732, clean as day. That is gorgeous. That ain't fair.
It is fair. That's really. I haven't done that, but I'm gonna. All right, we're gonna make this quick,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna work my way through. Rob is kind of, we're Southeast Kentucky Relic Hunters. Is what we're gonna do. You're gonna see a lot of us. So if you like it, great. If you don't, you're gonna see us anyway. This here is clad. We have not taken the Coinstar or tumbled. I don't know, a couple $100 worth, I'm sure. Some pottery. I like some of the older stuff. I'm going to go ahead and make some mosaics and, that sort of thing. Toys. Let's start off with some toys, guys. Tootsie Toys. Got lots of Tootsie Toys. A few of these are really unique. This one's my favorite. This is lead. They let kids play with lead
Yeah,
in the
that
40s.
is pretty cool, though.
I mean,
That thing's neat.
nowadays that people would freak out. Some of the older, real simple, but no wheels. Hey, good stuff. And some heartbreakers too. Like if that was whole, that would have been a nice one. And some big boys that never, didn't deteriorate all the way. We got some Hubleys. My son Alex found that bad boy right there.
Yes, I
And
did.
this one and that one. Those are some cap guns from the late 50s, early 60s.
I'm attracted to cap guns. What
Oh,
can I
man.
say, guys?
I found this one is it's actually dated 1903 from Austria. This is actually foreign. I'm not sure if it was a cap gun, but it might have been. It was in really bad shape, but after electrolysis and coating it, it'll never rust. I just think it's just cute.
I like it.
Yeah, I found
It's a cute little piece.
some some interesting
What was
pieces.
that?
It's an old cap gun frame, is what it would have been. Little Derringer. Long story about that one. I'm not going to get into it. This was a chunk of rust, and after electrolysis, I figured it out that it's actually part of a handle to a national cap gun that was made out of cast iron. So a lot of your iron digs, folks,
You never know what it could actually
it
turn out
might
to
be
be.
something worth keeping. So that's why you got to dig it all, especially in the older sites. And besides, it's good to get rid of the trash. That way, you can uncover the treasure. We got Alex's 3 Charlie Chaplin lead figurines.
I love them.
Are you kidding me? You guys probably remember him in the last videos. What are the odds? I don't know. Never seen one. I found this in an old barn. There's actually lead inside of it. It's an old, like, Napoleon type figurine. I don't know. It's kind of cool. The face. Love the face. Love the golf club. Found this not too long ago. I thought I found a real lock plate until I realized I found a cap gun lock plate. That's
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
neat. Got some of this, some of that. Old porcelain doll pieces. Stuff that I just have to pick up. Why? Because we do. All right.
Of course we do.
Moving on to a little Civil War here. Prior to September of last year, September of 2017, me and my son coming from the Northwest, coming from Alaska and Oregon, couldn't find a Civil War item.
Yeah, there was no way.
It's obvious because there was no action there. So we always dreamed about it. Well, guess what? We got a permission. All this Civil War related items came out of one field. We're talking 3 ringers, carved bullets, hammer nipple protectors that people had made to save their striker, pencils, initial carved
Hold that there for a
pencils.
second.
This is really unique, guys. You don't find stuff like that all the time. We got round balls. We got game pieces, fired balls. We got cut 3 ringers, mini balls. We got J hooks. And yes, less than 1 year, I found U.S. belt plate. It's not whole, but you know what?
More than enough. That's more than I've
That
found.
right there will make you skip a heartbeat.
That's a keeper for sure.
And you get on down, we got a bunch of grommets and such. Spencer casings. I love this piece. Some Civil War soldier, because the field's right next to a river, guys. He took an old bullet and he made himself a fishing weight.
You
That's
gotta
cool.
love it.
A lot of people might throw something like that away, but you gotta think about where you're at, what you're digging, because that's a relic. And it has been saved. All right, moving on down. Up in Oregon, found an old stagecoach site. We had some interesting finds from there. I think this is an old gas valve off a fire truck, according to the patent number. Could be wrong. This is a log dog. They used to hammer these into logs and run ropes through them to run the logs down the rivers. These are actually pretty valuable, not real easy to find.
I found that, guys.
Yes, he did. This is an old toy bank, half of one, cast iron. You open an account in the early 1900s to late 1800s, they would give you something like this so you can put your change right in there, see? So that's kind of cool.
He found that.
I did. This turned out to be a 51-150 Sharps piece of lead. Now, this could have been used during the Indian Wars in the Northwest. Look at the size of that piece of lead.
Yeah, that's crazy looking.
Yeah, that's pretty unique. You keep going. We have buttons galore, guys. I'm not going to get into all the buttons. Flat buttons, military buttons, cuff buttons. I mean, it just goes on and on. This is recent finds, guys. My son's a carpenter. and I'm a retired oil worker and gunsmith. We don't get out every day, but when we do go out, we dig it all. And this is what happens. We've thrown away 10 times this. We're going to restore most of this, and they're going to end up in frames. But you get up into here, we're talking just in the last 2 weeks, we're talking amazing coal company, tool checks and tokens that folks are now in the token book as the only examples ever found. Speaking of like Rob and the L&N Railroad, look at that bag seal.
It's so pretty.
Right? One of my first finds when I got to Kentucky. I didn't even know what it was.
He was going to throw it away, guys.
Because it was covered in
You
junk.
literally, it looked like a chunk of iron.
It did. And then I soaked it in vinegar for 24 hours, and then it just came out like that.
It blew us both away completely. We did not expect that.
Got some random tokens, some good luck tokens. Back in the 60s, you'd put a quarter in the machine. They would put your initials or to your sweetheart, that sort of thing. A couple little bottles, beautiful bit. Some this and some of that. It just goes on. Some arrowheads. Hey, the relics, right? My son dug this one. I love this. I mean, that's a railroad lamp tag. How cool is that? A lot of people don't think this stuff's neat. You know how much history's right here?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then, of course, his junior fire marshal badge. Who doesn't like that? Model T and Model A Ford battery connectors. And all right, world's smallest railroad tie. How cool is that, right?
Right.
Pretty cool. We got compacts. We got pocket watches. We found 4 of those, folks, in one day. True story. 4 pocket watches.
Yes, we did.
Okay, we got some really neat suspender clips. Some very old buckles, too. A few of them are pretty good. I got to tell you, some of these were found in areas where there was colonial activity. Garter belt clips, maybe. Some really neat ones. They're going to end up in a frame. We got thimbles. We got handcuff keys. There's lots of horse tack, guys. Old lock plate cover. This is a World War I VFW commemorative plate, but I'm not sure what goes on. Okay, and like me and Rob were talking, it could have went on, anything from a box to a grave. You never know. It's still kind of neat.
I like it. I found that, guys.
We got Sheriff Kid badges made out of lead. Molds of some sort, maybe a candy mold. I don't know. Hard candy. Harmonica reeds.
Ox shoe.
Yeah,
looking all nice cured up.
We got some good stuff here. I found these in the barn, in an old barn, under hay, under a little bit of dirt. Talk about preserved. Folks, it's in the case. It has the maker and where they were purchased. This was when I lived in Oregon. This is in Pendleton, Oregon. These spectacles are made out of 22 karat gold filled, and they're complete.
That is so neat.
They were in the case. That's neat.
Yeah, it is.
If
That's
that'll
awesome.
get you excited, quit the hobby.
Yeah.
So, we move it along here. We found some silvers. We have some Mexican silver. We have some 925s. We got some really neat silver trinkets, some plated junk. But look at this, guys. This is an arrowhead that someone had made on a cheap necklace. Or it's an old scraper is what it is. How cool is that?
That's pretty neat.
We got onyx with silver, all marked. We got junk too, like this. But you know what? It's just too cool to throw away. Why would you throw that away?
I had something cool in it at one time.
My son, I don't know what it is. This guy here, I've never dug an elongated coin. This guy has dug a few.
I told you guys I tend to find a lot of these.
What is that about, guys?
I've never found one.
This guy finds them just like they're like a normal Lincoln.
Yeah.
Alright. So, some coins here. We've dug a lot of interesting coins over the years. A lot of them are foreign and silver and old. In fact, my son's very first silver coin was this one.
Alright, she doesn't want to focus.
This is an Australian 1913
Focus.
silver crown. She's a beaut.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Got beautiful toning on her. Yep, gotta love it. And you keep looking here. I have found 1800s early foreign silver coins that I guess probably aren't worth much more than melt. We do have a bunch of Canadian 80% silvers. Even a couple oddballs, you know, half penny, British half penny. U.S. My son, 1840. What year?
It's an 1848.
1848 Largie. She's rough.
Oh, 1843.
43, but she's there. So, you know, congrats on that. I've never dug a Largie. Beautiful coin.
It definitely didn't want to focus on it.
We have a 1950 Washington quarter. This is just in the last 3 years, guys. I've dug a lot of silver over the last 40 years, but this is just recent. This you saw on video, I'm hoping. That's that 1914 barber quarter. Oh, so pretty. This here has got me perplexed. Now, prior to moving here to the south, we didn't even know what a real was, or ever heard of anyone really digging one until we started watching YouTube. I don't know. I don't know. You want to take a look, Rob? I dug this in the northwest, but it looks half real size. I don't know. I know it's silver.
Don't know.
It's pretty smooth, huh?
Pretty neat, though. Could
I
be.
don't want to reference
Right.
the smooth as Brad's butt, but
Right.
that's as smooth as Brad's
But
butt.
it could be.
It could be.
Okay, then I have an 1860s Mexican silver coin here. Ironically, I dug this in a football field. Yeah, go figure. Some kid showing off his buddies. We got some older Canadian dimes here. They're silver. You know, when you live in Washington and Oregon, Canadian coins are pretty common. The silver ones not so much, but they're still, you know, 80%. Like our coins are 90, theirs are 80. I've dug a few buffs here. My son's dug a few of these too. This is kind of a betweener both here. A few buffaloes. Gotta love the designs. A couple war nickels. Yes, our very first and last and only Indian heads up to date. My son dug that one. I dug this one. And then he found one on top and then dug another one. No great dates, but all of them, except for one, are in the 1800s. And we've never found one before.
I love bucket listers, man.
You just don't find them over there. People, you know, all the good old real estate in the Northwest, it's paved over or it's a new home. It's not as open. So a lot of people say, oh, it's just an Indian head. Go to Washington State, dig one for me. See how hard it is.
Right?
Okay. The Civil War field yielded me, yes, three shield nickels, all dated 1866. Are you kidding me? I don't even know what to say. And, you know, if someone would have told me I was going to dig these, I told them they were nuts. Not one, 5 fee nickels. Yeah, that's right. A coin that I've never dug before. Fee nickels. Why not?
I've never dug any of these guys. He's killing me.
I mean, and then they're getting the dimes here, and Alex has caught one of these Mercs and one of these Rosies. We got some silver Rosies. Got a few pretty Mercs. Then we got that barber. That's the one that kicked it off 2 videos ago. 1903. And then we have a half dime, guys. 1860. I don't know if you can focus on that.
Yeah, just give it a second. Trying to.
Good looking coin, right?
For what it is, it has a lot of detail left on it.
Turns out, guys, it's not just a seated half dime. It's a transitional period date, and pretty rare with a mintage of less than 400,000. Nice coin. And then we come to Big Daddy. 1823 capped bust dime. If you know, I've been collecting coins my whole life. These are only coins that I've ever seen in books.
You ever set it down?
You know, I got to tell you that one shocked me.
You shocked all of us.
I was not expecting
There it is.
a cat bus dime. You know, I just wasn't. And if you've never dug one and are going to dig one, you will understand. Most areas, I don't know. I just can't imagine in 1823, I can't imagine losing this. 10 cents almost 200 years ago, that was a lot of money. You know, how long has it been there? You know, who had it? Was this part of a collection? Or did someone actually lose this? You don't know. Amazing piece of history right there. Alright, moving on. We got some junk here. I'll make this quick, and I got 5 primary pieces I'd really like to talk about because they're really special to me and my son. My son's my best friend. He's also my best digging partner. We have been out several hundreds, if not thousands of times. So, and there's 4 or 5 pieces that really mean a lot to us, and I'll get to that here in just a second. Alright, we got a lot of jewelry here. We got sterling silver veteran World War II combat infantry badges, marked Sterling on the back. Gotta love it. Zeb with Kentucky Dirt Diggers. You know, some of your viewers have dug these. I think you might have too. Great find. Dug locally here. We got bunches of little silver marked Sterling. We got bracelets that are gold plated and some that are silver. Lots of bracelets that are silver, actually, come to think of it. We got 4 or 5 of them. One of my favorites is this handmade marked 800, which is 80%, Mexican silver bracelet. When my son dug this, we thought this was part to a rim of a can or junk.
I really did.
Well,
I
I
had
mean, look
no
at
idea.
it. It looks like trash. That is actually Mexican silver. How cool.
Yep, it's pretty clear about that on the marking.
Yep, and you know, I've dug some big old, big, beautiful copper bracelets, guys. Top finds, of course, but this big, beautiful copper bracelets. You gotta love it, really. Very hobby. Neat stuff. This watch, you guys are gonna love this. I found this on the surface, okay? So to speak. I mean, I think it was just under some moss up in the redwood forest. And it was ticking. I was like, well, that's cool. It's got a little calendar in it. That's right. This thing's been in a box for almost 3.5 years. The thing's still ticking. I've never wound it. Nothing. It's still ticking.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we got some real vintage hippie stuff here, and I say that in regards to the word, the hippie era, 60s. This is the kind of stuff that they wore. Okay, this is vintage flower power Vietnam era jewelry, and it's really kind of neat. You know, some of the stuff that they did, and we try to emulate and copy today. You know, you see in the shops, kids always making their bracelets and necklaces and stuff. That's original. It's kind of cool. All right, we got some sterling cinnamon pins, dog tags, little pieces of gold all over the place, and yes, we have some bling. Now, obviously it's not real, but still, looks pretty. So, we got some silver buttons, we got some wash, we got some 20s, you know, vintage jewelry, real neat. This and that, you know, some of this, some of that. We got opals, we got turquoise, real pretty stone. This is actually silver, believe it or not. It's rough. I won't get into that. We have some other pieces. We got a piece of onyx and silver. All right. I'm going to get into these 4, and then we'll just finish the wrap up that way. Actually, there is something really cool I want to show you guys. Yeah. This cleaned up nice, right? This is a letter opener. Gotta love it.
For real, right?
That was dug about 8 inches deep. Blow your mind. Anyway, here we are. So the first piece I want to talk about is this. Yes, this is a sat iron. Yes, I sat it on the wood stove and got it hot. Not this one. Why? This is a salesman's sample. Very rare. This is what the salesman would walk door to door, ride his horse and buggy to to try to get you to buy a larger or full-size version. Time was kind to this piece, and I think it has a lot to do with the way I found it in the ground. But you just don't find stuff like this all the time. And I know that salesmen copies and you know on that they're just really unique because some guy in a suit had a bunch of cookware type stuff and household stuff and was probably on a horse, or even maybe it was a Model A Ford. I don't know. This dates early 1900s at the latest, and had to maybe travel 50, 60 miles a day to talk to 5, 6 people and show them things like this and try to explain to them how this was going to change their life, you know. So really cool. Second will be one of Alex's pieces. This piece here, car guys, you guys will really understand how rare this is. The Dodge brothers worked for Ford, making the Model A and Model Ts, okay? They had an argument around 1913, I think it was, and split. They started Dodge Brothers. That's the predecessor to Dodge, of course. This is the hood ornament to a 1914 Dodge Brothers vehicle with the original enamel. Guys, if you're a car guy, it don't get no better than that. That is an amazing piece. I'll never forget it when he dug it. I won't. I actually don't forget 95% of what's out here, but this one always stuck in my head.
Yeah, you guys would think that at some point metal detecting you'd eventually accumulate so much you wouldn't even remember where you got some of it. You probably wouldn't even remember the product itself, but it's not the case. I mean, each one has a memory with it.
Very true. And a positive memory. So, alright. This right here is real special to me, and I'll tell you why. This is actually wood, guys. This is a wood hairpiece. I researched an old home site in the Pacific Northwest, and there was a man that lived there who worked in a store, I'm not going to name a town, in the late 1800s. And his wife was Native American, which is kind of true to my heart because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but my wife is 100% Native American. So, anyway, I had a photo at one time, and I could put a picture to the face of who actually owned this. This was personal to her, and it's like I said, it's wood. So you know, you guys are thinking, okay, so did you find it on top of the ground? No, it's got gold gilding on it. That's what actually rang on my machine, and I've been carrying this around for a while. I just think it's really unique. The fact that it's wood, and you can see it's been like plywooded together. I guess that's how they made it, laminated it. But they carved this out of wood. There's no plastic on this. That's really cool. Alright, let's get to Alex's. This here might be the most historically valuable, if you will, monetarily wise, piece we own. And he found it. This is when Alex just started with an Ace 150. Yeah. And this is a Merchant Hotel tag. Now, this was actually featured in Eastern and Western Treasure. You can look it up. They had an example in the, I think it issued in 1988. I could be wrong. We have all the issues. What makes it rare is it's got the hotel's name on it, Merchant Hotel, the number, and it was found in the Northwest. These were made by one man in specific, and he only made them for 3 years. And why they did this is so when they stuck them in their pocket, it would hurt. They wouldn't want to stick it in their pocket, therefore they wouldn't run off with their key tags. Now we've had people tell us that this is worth well over $500. Let's just put it that way. But what an amazing find with an entry-level machine. It just goes to show you don't need a $1,000 machine to find good things. My son's 90% of some of the best stuff he's ever found was with a machine that cost less than $200. So keep that in mind, guys. Anyway, great fun. My 1939 Buck Rogers rocket ship. This was found with Cody Fisher, who runs his own YouTube channel, Oregon Coast Adventures. Check him out. He's in a couple videos with us, or we're actually in a couple videos with him on his channel, and some of this stuff was actually dug live. So you can see this. You can see a lot of those Tootsie Toys and cap guns and such done and Doug live less than 2.5 years ago on his channel. This is a really neat toy, guys. I don't know why this one's so special to me mentally, but I don't know. It's really macabre, as in, what a neat toy. What a time to be alive, you know. And look how it came out of the ground. It's still got some yellow patina on it, but I just love this piece. Anyway, off. Here we go. Rings. We're gonna start speeding it up so we don't drive you guys crazy. Yes, lots of class rings, lots of silver, lots of gold. One of my favorites is this one. Why? My last name's Pollard. There's a P on that silver ring. It's monogrammed with a P. So of course I'm gonna love this ring. P. Pretty cool, huh? Love it. Alex is the ring that Alex found that I'll never forget was his little turquoise vintage silver. That is a pretty ring. Love it. I'll never forget it. You know what's also interesting about this ring? This is the first ring that my son ever dug.
Yeah, it is, huh?
First one. His
First
piece
real
of
one,
jewelry,
anyway.
His first ring. Sterling silver with turquoise.
Squash blossom, I guess you.
Yeah, that's, and the fact that I know that kind of elaborates on what my son was talking about earlier. You remember.
I can show you where 30 years ago when I found my first bullet, my first button in a Civil War battlefield.
Precisely my
The
point.
exact spot.
You know where these were dug. You know how they were dug. So anyway, guys, we got some neat little rings here, and this little frame. You look around here, Alex. This one's got a piece in it that will stop your heart. I thought I dug Spanish silver or Spanish gold at one time. Of course, it's a fake, and that's what you want to dig at 8 inches.
Right.
So,
Would that not mess anybody up?
that was
So
dug at
bad.
8 inches deep, guys, and I got to tell you, being a little on the not thin side, I about fell over. So, don't do that. Anyway, we got some old dog tags. We got some, that's an Army Corps Engineer World War II button right there. I love that one. Some crosses. Sharpshooter medal, which is marked 925 on the back. Some real buttons.
Hem weight.
Yep, I got 4 hem weights in here, I think.
Coat.
I got a square hem weight, which is really hard to find, the square ones. Got some hem weights, some dog tags. I love this dog tag. Mud. That was the dog's name. It's awesome. Alright, we got some silverware, of which we have some real nice ones. Alex dug these two in the same day. These are solid silver, guys. Come on. How do you not like that? A lot of silver wash stuff. I dug this one. And it's too bad it's silver plated, hallmarked and everything. It's just gorgeous. I love how they twisted that. Look at that. Love it. I'm sure you guys have dug plenty of silverware. Keep in mind, though, some of this stuff has a story. Now, if you guys watched our last video, Alex dug this one. Okay? This is, whoa!
Now broken.
This is by far our oldest piece of silverware. Turns out that there's maker mark and such on the back. 1840s, guys. Pewter spoon. I mean, that's just post-colonial by a few years. Awesome. It's got a story to it. Love it. Keep moving along. Yeah, I know, right? Love that one.
It's marked.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I just did the thing.
All right, stealth diggers. I know you guys love to throw your oxen shoes in a bucket or buckets. I ain't never found one. You don't find ox shoes in the Northwest.
That's not a thing.
No. Find lots of horseshoes.
I didn't even know what it was.
I dug
My
that
dad had to tell me.
about 4 months ago, and I just couldn't believe it. I was in awe. So I restored it. Why? Because I don't know how many days I'm going to dig in Kentucky. But I got to tell you what. I like it.
Good find.
Mike Reed's. Look at these razors my son found. Oh, hold on. Got to show this. Car guys. Yeah. 404 off of Pontiac. Uh-huh. Yeah. Some knives. Look at this pocket knife here. Aren't these neat? I just wish I could get the blades out. I got a mother of pearl one here. I dig a lot of pocket knives, guys, but most of them, let's be honest, end up in the trash. They're just too far gone. But every once in a while, you dig a knife that's got some some life left in it. You know, old hunting knife, that sort of thing. He dug a lot of really old razors. Some got backlight on them, or made out of Bakelite, pre-plastic. Some were silver washed. Some were Victorian. That is so cool.
Yep, got a little bit of each one from each era.
Bunch of lead, bunch of this. Hey guys, I actually found a moonshine crock. I did. Out in the middle of nowhere, sticking out of the ground. Love it. It's not always in the ground. Later leg coat. Rob found this. It's a Payne's celery compound. How cool is that, guys? Love old glass. Some of this, some of that. Cigarette cases, match cases. Look, we can go on for days and hours in here, but we're not going to do that. We just want to make sure that you guys all understand that, you know, this isn't about the money, because I'm never going to sell any of it. It's not about the money. And you diggers out there know that. But we want you guys to know that we appreciate your guys' channels, and we appreciate you people that don't even metal detect that watch us. It's what we do, it's what we love. It's what we're going to continue to do, God willing. So, as my son would say, until the next hole, we'll see you soon.
On to the next hole.